ACAT is Africa's premier platform for agricultural technology transfer, designed to foster structural dialogue and consensus building on innovation and agricultural technologies, transformative ideas, and enabling policies that drive agricultural transformation across the continent. We have convened here in Kigali, Rwanda, for the second ACAT, which is an opportunity to accelerate progress in agricultural technologies through solution-driven discussions, inclusive engagement.
Welcome to Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, where tradition meets innovation, and the future of agriculture is being cultivated today. Agriculture isn't just the backbone of Rwanda's economy. It is the heartbeat of our nation. Spanning 1.4 million hectares, this sector contributes 25% to our GDP and supports millions of livelihoods. Rwanda is reimagining agriculture under the Second National Strategy for Transformation, NST2. We are on track for over 6% annual growth in the next 5 years, with productivity soaring by 50% and irrigated land expanding by 85%. This isn't just growth, it is transformation, with a vision to achieve upper middle income status by 2035 and high income status by 2050. The country is strategically positioning itself as a leader in sustainable and profitable agribusiness. Rwanda is investing in irrigation and modern farming to boost crop production and sustainability. Irrigation. To ensure sustainable growth, Rwanda has launched large-scale initiatives. Gabiro Agribusiness Hub, a $118.4 million joint venture developing 15,600 hectares of irrigated farmland. Muvumba Multi-Purpose Irrigation Project, a $170 million initiative aimed at developing 10,206 hectares of irrigated land to boost productivity. National Irrigation Scheme and Export-Targeted Modern Irrigation ETI project are revolutionizing water use across the country. Livestock and dairy. Rwanda is also leading the way in livestock and dairy production with innovative projects. The Gako Beef Project, a flagship program enhancing Rwanda's beef industry with investments in cattle restocking, feedlots, and meat processing. The Rwanda National Animal Genetic Improvement Center focuses on boosting animal genetics, ensuring our meat production caters to both local and export markets. Additionally, our state-of-the-art facility in Nyange Milk Powder Plant is advancing Rwanda's dairy sector by turning locally sourced milk into high-quality products for both domestic and international markets. Horticulture and cash crops. Rwanda's fertile soils and favorable climate are perfect for high-value crops. In Rwamagana, Bella Inc. is an export-focused operation renowned for producing premium roses that grace markets worldwide. Rwanda's high-altitude plantations yield some of the finest coffee and tea globally, contributing over 46% of the country's export revenues. The global demand for avocados is soaring, and Rwanda is tapping into this opportunity.
Right.
Rwanda is tapping into its lakes and water resources to build a strong aquaculture sector.
Right. I'd like to also request our colleagues in the Fourth Estate, the media, that there is a press conference, just in case you would like also to be part of that. It's taking place at Mezzamine. It's upstairs, and this will be taking place after the official opening ceremony. So please stand by for that so that we can be able to capture that. The top officials we've seen here will be participating in that presser. So it's something worth attending. So thank you. As you are, you can continue.
More than an industry, it is a thriving, dynamic force that's shaping our future. We invite you to be part of this journey. Invest in Rwanda's agriculture and cultivate a future full of promise. Discover Rwanda and see how we are building sustainable agri-food systems. Every seed sown is a step toward a brighter future. Join us in cultivating the future today.
ACAT is Africa's premier platform for agricultural technology transfer, designed to foster structural dialogue and consensus building on innovation and agricultural technologies, transformative ideas, and enabling policies that drive agricultural transformation across the continent. We have convened here in Kigali, Rwanda, for the second ACAT, which is an opportunity to accelerate progress in agricultural technologies through solution-driven discussions, inclusive engagement, and the advancement of scientific research for Africa's farmers.
We are here as different groups of stakeholders to explore, to brainstorm, and celebrate the possibilities that exist under the theme Next Gen Agri-Tech Solutions for Africa's Farmers. We are embracing the bold vision of changing the face of our African agriculture through innovation, inclusivity, and farmer-centric approaches.
Welcome to Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, where tradition meets innovation and the future of agriculture is being cultivated today. Agriculture isn't just the backbone of Rwanda's economy. It is the heartbeat of our nation. Spanning 1.4 million hectares, this sector contributes 25% to our GDP and supports millions of livelihoods. Rwanda is reimagining agriculture under the Second National Strategy for Transformation, NST2. We are on track for over 6% annual growth in the next 5 years, with productivity soaring by 50% and irrigated land expanding by 85%. This isn't just growth, it is transformation, with a vision to achieve upper middle income status by 2035 and high income status by 2050. The country is strategically positioning itself as a leader in sustainable and profitable agribusiness. Rwanda is investing in irrigation and modern farming to boost crop production and sustainability. Irrigation to ensure sustainable growth. Developing 600 Uvumba multi-purpose project, a 170 million boost productivity, National Irrigation Scheme, and Export Targeted Modern Irrigation ETI project are revolutionizing water use across the country. Livestock and dairy. Rwanda is also leading the way in livestock and dairy production with innovative projects. The Gako Beef Project, a flagship program enhancing Rwanda's beef industry. contributing over 46% of the country's export revenues. The global demand for avocados is soaring, and Rwanda is tapping into this opportunity. Rwanda is tapping into its lakes and water resources to build a strong aquaculture sector. The country currently produces 9,000 tons of fish annually, with Kivu Choice contributing about 4,000 tons, nearly half of the total. The company aims to reach 20,000 tons by 2026, supporting Rwanda's national goal of 80,000 tons by 2035. Our youth are at the forefront of agricultural innovation, from poultry farming to deploying high-tech solutions that drive the sector forward. In Rwanda, agriculture is more than an industry. It is a thriving, dynamic force that's shaping our future. We invite you to be part of this journey. Invest in Rwanda's agriculture and cultivate a future full of promise. Discover Rwanda and see how we are building sustainable agri-food systems. Every seed sown is a step toward a brighter future. Join us in cultivating the future today.
We believe that the future of Africa lies in its vast land. We believe the future is in the hands of those who walk the fields. For those are the hands that feed nations and ensure a better and more productive Africa. We believe in those hands, and that is why we too bring our hands in support of them. Our hands come bearing technologies and solutions that ensure their effort is not in vain, but deliver results that ensure a sustainable, prosperous, and food-secure Africa. At AATF, we are driving transformation of livelihoods in sub-Saharan Africa through innovative agricultural technologies that deliver results. We promise to deliver prosperity through technology.
Farmers across Africa are facing the harsh realities caused by pests, diseases, and the impact of climate change. But agricultural technology is rewriting the story, one breakthrough at a time. AATF, the government of Rwanda, and partners invite you to the Second African Conference on Agricultural Technologies, ACAT, from the 9th to the 12th June 2025 at the Kigali Convention Center, Rwanda, to discuss innovative technologies towards Africa's food and nutrition security under the theme Next Gen Ag-Tech Solutions for Africa's Farmers. Join farmers, scientists, policymakers, and key stakeholders to experience hands-on tech demos and connect with global agri-innovators. Get your tickets today. Enjoy early bird discounts of 5% off on individual tickets and 20% off on group tickets. ACAT 2025. See you there. The countdown is on. In just a few weeks, the premier gathering of Africa's top minds, ACAT 2025, will take place in Kigali, Rwanda. Join over 400 delegates from over 20 countries at the Kigali Convention Center to discuss policies, regulations, and technologies that will shape Africa's agriculture in the days to come. Convening under the theme Next Gen Ag-Tech Solutions for Africa's Farmers, policymakers, researchers, regulators, farmers, innovators, and ag-tech developers will come together to discuss and take bold Africa-led steps for Africa's agricultural prosperity. Visit acat.aatf-africa.org to register and book your slot now. Only a few exhibition booths still remain. ACAT 2025.
May we all take our seats,
See you there.
please? If you're standing, please do take your seats kindly. I said take your seats, I didn't say keep quiet. Just take your seats and relax. Yeah?
Showcase your technologies at the ACAT 2025 conference. Register early on the ACAT website to secure the limited slots available.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to prepare ourselves and give an ACAT 2025 round of applause to the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda as he joins us, Dr. Edward Ngirente. Let's appreciate him as he joins us this morning in this room, where we're going to have the official opening of the ACAT 2025 that is taking place right here in the Republic of Rwanda. We have some more energy, we can do better. Come on, another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We may take our seats. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for joining us this morning. And as a reporter that I am, I'd like to quickly just give you a few recap or updates of what has happened since yesterday. I think we've had a good start when we started off yesterday, and we've also had that in the room. We have first-time visitors in Rwanda and their commitments that they've made that they're going to be staying longer to be able to invest within the agri-food system space. I also am aware that we've had a session that just ended a few minutes ago, and one of the key takeaways was that farmers will never struggle about the question of access to finance. We heard that the money is there, and you'll never hear again the issue of farmers complaining about access to finance. And they'll increase the loan portfolio to agribusiness to 60% as a start. And also, thank you very much for that. We also had that we need to incorporate the traditional methods in today's advancing technology when it comes to agribusiness. And we talked about the rainmakers, and probably it's time to bring them back, Right Honorable Prime Minister. I want us to recognize the presence in this particular room of high-level dignitaries who are joining us for this particular session. And I want us to put our hands together for His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who's here with us, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We all appreciate him as the goodwill ambassador also of the AATF, who's also here with us in that sense. I want us to kick off this opening ceremony, and we'll be able to start off with a bit of entertainment. If you've been hearing about the Rwandan cultural troops, this is your time. I hope you've charged your phones and you have the data ready to be able to capture these memorable moments of this Rwandan cultural troop called Inganzongari. They have about 5 minutes to wow you. Let's appreciate them, ladies and gentlemen, as they join us.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how it sounds, that's how it looks like, the energy from Inganzongari, opening us off in a very nice way. It is now time for us to get to hear the opening speeches. And first off, we are going to be able to hear the welcome or opening remarks by the board chair of AATF, and that is none other than the Professor Agri Ambari. Can we appreciate him, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes?
Thank you, moderator. The Prime Minister of Rwanda, Right Honorable Dr. Eduardo Ngirente, all the ministers present here, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Bagabe, Honorable Minister Inkabile, Honorable Minister of Education from Malawi, Dr. Kabwira, Honorable Clement Apak, the Minister from Ghana, Minister of State, Eric Rigamba, and Honorable State Minister Solange Kaisire, members of the Remote Corps, Director Generals and senior government officials, donor agencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm deeply honored to welcome you to this auspicious event, ACAT 2025. Right at the onset, I would like to convey gratitude to the government and people of the Republic of Rwanda for hosting us here in Kigali. Honorable Prime Minister, I can assure you that since we got here to this end, and I'm sure even as we'll be going through the rest of the week, it has all been peaceful, and we are very grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, your presence here today is not only an honor to us as ATF, but is a strong show of your commitment to our shared ideals of a food secure and prosperous Africa. Now, we met in Nairobi 2 years ago, and we dubbed that event ACAT 2023. We are meeting again here for the second time in Kigali, and we've dubbed this ACAT 2025. What's the focus? For 2025, the focus is really to re-energize our resolve to tackle Africa's agriculture challenges. This time, we are focusing the lens on the transformative role of next-gen agriculture tech solutions for Africa's farmers. Starting from yesterday, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, through to Thursday this week, we are unpacking this theme together and answer many critical questions, including the big one, being, what does it take to move from talk to action? We know that next-gen agricultural technologies can have a transformative role, drive economic growth, and improve food security. It is a fact that cutting-edge work in such areas as digital farming and biotechnology is already showing promise in enhancing productivity, reducing cost, post-harvest losses, and empowering farmers. However, the challenge at hand is to move from this knowledge that is in all forms to action at the policy level, operational level, and ultimately the last mile. You recall the Minister of State this morning of Rwanda told us to say, well, I think policies can be there, but then there has to be an enabling environment. And indeed, that's the challenge that we would like to make sure that we address at this particular meeting. This ACAT 2025 has been structured to achieve a high level of interaction through plenaries, some that actually the moderator was talking to earlier on, technical interactive panels. I think he enjoyed some yesterday, where we are told, don't invite us as farmers. We need to be there. We own the process. As well as strategic dialogues and demos. I'm sure this morning our brother was showing us how the weather stations can actually contribute effectively to agricultural production. So these themes that we've actually put together in the program are designed to catalyze as much conversation and knowledge sharing as possible on our shared understanding of needs-based solutions, high-impact investments, and partnerships, pathways for effective commercialization, and very critically, the role of effective stewardship in technology uptake. As ATF, working together with our partners, we have deliberately given a lot of attention this time to the topic of stewardship, because we appreciate that probably it has not received as much attention as has been the case in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, the ongoing debate, I think we all love this, our youth. Let's clap for them. We are very grateful to AATF and partners, Mastercard Foundation, and others that have actually enabled a large participation of youth at this particular conference, ACAT 2025. After all, they own their destiny anyway. They are not the leaders of tomorrow. I was told one day, I said, no, we are leaders of tomorrow. We are leaders of today. So indeed, you are welcome, and indeed take your rightful position as far as agriculture is concerned. Never negotiate power, seize power. The ongoing debate on the youth in Africa must begin to concretize into actionable models. Hence, ACAT 2025 provides a high-level platform to reflect on the opportunities to take advantage of the intersection between modern technology advances, and the incentives to attract and retain the youth in meaningful work in agriculture. As I mentioned, we've got demos. These, again, will go a long way to confirm the power of seeing is believing, especially for exciting innovations in digital agriculture, data integration agriculture, decision-making support systems, and other examples where partners are pushing the frontiers of agro-processing. I think I should really let you see it for yourselves. We have got a very, very well-packed, well-thought-through program, and really, I would wish to welcome you all to ACAT 2025, and indeed, wish you good health as we go through the rest of this particular conference. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate the board chair one more time, please. It is now time for us to be able to listen to the keynote address that will be tackling the aspect of investing in the future of African agriculture, that will be delivered by His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's appreciate him as he comes to deliver the keynote address. More round of applause, please. Energy, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, this will not be a formal keynote address in the really technical sense. It's more like a brief opening remarks. Let me appreciate the Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda, Dr. Eduardo Grandi. Thank you for coming to encourage the farmers. Our host Minister of Agriculture and other honorable ministers from Africa that are here with us, the Nigerian Acting Ambassador, and all members of the diplomatic corps that are here with us, Directors General and senior government officials that are here in this gathering, the chairman of AATF board who just spoke, Professor Mbali, thank you for your leadership. Our donor agencies and development partners, thank you for your support. The Executive Director of AATF, Dr. Kanungri, thank you for your leadership. And my colleagues who are here for this program, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to stand before you today to speak on the future of agriculture in Africa, a future that is full of purposeful promise and far-reaching potential. Before I delve into my speech, which will be a bit brief, please permit me to acknowledge and thank the President, His Excellency Paul Kagame, and the government of the Republic of Rwanda for the warm reception accorded me and my entourage from the day we arrived. In the same vein, let me thank the board and management of AATF for the warm reception. Honorable Prime Minister, please extend my sincere gratitude to my brother and friend, His Excellency President Kigali. Let me at this point sincerely acknowledge the leadership of AATF for creating this very important platform, the ACAT, which has added a strong voice to the African agricultural conversation. It is an opportunity to showcase capabilities and potentials and a rallying point to articulate our agricultural agenda for the good of the continent. As we gather here, we must recognize that Africa stands at a historic crossroads. On one road lies the continued struggle with food insecurity anchored on underutilized land, limited use of innovative technologies, and fragmented markets. On the other lies a bold vision, one that beholds Africa as a global powerhouse in food and nutritional security, powered by innovation, partnerships, and transformative investments. With the projected growth in our population, we have no choice but to increase food production in Africa. For these opening remarks, let me just make brief comments on some selected areas. Africa's agricultural potential. Our great continent, Africa, is home to 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. The continent boasts of diverse agroecological zones, a growing youthful population, and a rich heritage of farming and food systems. And indeed, if you look at the ecological zones in Africa that the agroecological zones follow, Africa is actually blessed. There are some countries, some continents that almost the whole continent have almost the same geography. If you take my country, Nigeria alone, you move from the mangroves forest in the coastal area, through the rain forest, through the Guinea savanna, the Sudan savanna, the Sahel savanna, and the semi-desert. And all these zones produce different crops. If you come to Eastern Africa, of course, the savannas, the montane vegetations, and so on and so forth. You hardly see a continent that has that kind of diversity in terms of the agroecology. But so for Africa, we must really work hard and ensure that young people are brought in to improve agriculture. The role of technology. The future of agriculture on our continent is intricately tied to our ability to embrace and scale up available and emerging technologies. I'm quite pleased that in this program there are a lot of demonstrations of various technologies that will be very useful. Regional collaboration through platforms such as the African Union, the Economic Community of West African States, COMESA, and the African Continental Free Trade Area must be strengthened to unlock inter-Africa trade, reduce tariffs on agricultural inputs, and harmonize standards for regulation and management of food products. The imperative of sustained investment. For far too long, agricultural investment in Africa has been sporadic, short-term, and donor-dependent. This narrative must change. We must view investment in agriculture not as aid, but as a strategic economic imperative. Africa's agricultural transformation will require bold, long-term financing from both domestic and international sources. Government must fulfill and go beyond their commitments under the Maputo and Malabo declarations, which proposes allocation of at least 10% of national budgets to agriculture. Private investment must be incentivized through clear policies, risk guarantees, and public-private partnership developed. Development finance institutions must innovate financing models that work for smallholder farmers and agripreneurs. This will encourage young people to go into agriculture. Luckily, this morning in one of the panels, the issue of finance was well discussed, and the banker promised 30% loan to go to agri. That is huge. From my experience in Nigeria, if 30% should go to agri, then I think we'll have no problem in Rwanda again, because that is huge. Yesterday, too, one of the panels, we discussed, and young people were there, discussed how do we encourage young people to go into farming. This morning, the issue of carrot without the stick came up, just like we discussed yesterday, and issues of finance. And it reminds me about when I was in office. Then my Honorable Minister of Agriculture is the current African Development Bank President, ACAT. And we really wanted to revolutionize agriculture in Nigeria. And what we needed to do was to encourage young people. And we came up with agripreneurs and how to run agriculture as a business, not just subsistence farming. And you will be surprised that so many young people, because of the encouragement and incentives, so many young people were involved, including medical doctors, lawyers, and engineers, not just graduates in agriculture. So for us, actually, to mobilize young people to go into farming, we should not look at only graduates in agriculture. Yesterday, we also discussed, the panel also raised the issues of the quality of the graduates who produce in agriculture, whether some of them are actually technically competent, especially areas of farm management and agri-engineering. And from my experience, if governments are serious and mobilize young people and give incentive, young boys who read other areas can do very well in agriculture. And some of them who did very well during that agripreneur programs were young people who read different courses, not necessarily agriculture. And the issue of finance, I remember when the banker promised the 30%, there was a caveat, issue of the risk. And that is why I believe that the financial institutions led by the central bank of the countries must come up with a model that the banks will be able to lend money. This 30%, they cannot just carry that 30% and give to farmers, because there is significant risk in lending money to farmers because of all kinds of challenges, weather challenges, flood, and so on. Before I became president, I started something we call Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending. The total percentage of loans in Nigeria that go to farmers was 0.5%. When we started that, within 2 years, it moved to 5%. That was led by the central bank with all the other banks, and we tried to see how we can share the risk, how the risk could also, not the commercial banks alone, should not take the risk. And that was a good motivation for the commercial banks, and it really improved our agriculture within that period. Climate smart and resilient agriculture. As you all know, climate change threatens to undermine decades of progress and new initiatives. We therefore must scale up climate smart agricultural practices that build resilience, restore ecosystems, and ensure that food production does not come at the expense of our environment. Water management, soil health, biodiversity, and renewable energy must be central components of our agricultural development strategies. A call to action. Honorable Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the time to act is now. Let us invest not just in seeds and fertilizers, but in science, policy, and the people. Let us build systems that are resilient, inclusive, and just. Let us ensure that Africa will not only feed herself, but will be a net exporter of food to other parts of the world. The dream of a food-secure Africa is not only possible, it is within our reach. But it depends on what we do. The issue of our vision, unity, and unrelenting commitment as leaders, stakeholders, and citizens of this great continent. Let us rise together to feed not just our nation, but also for export. And I always say that for us to move our vision for agriculture, the governments are central. No matter how interested the private sector will be, because agriculture needs a lot of push from the governments. I remember when I took over as the president, I called Aliko Dangote, who was then the richest man in Africa. I think still the richest man in Africa, but definitely the richest man in Nigeria. And he was a good investor. There are so many rich people that don't invest. And I said, I pleaded with him that then his main business was cement, sugar, and others. I said, look, we want to revolutionize agriculture. We need people like you to come and invest in agriculture. Somebody like you, Aliko, you can invest 1 billion in agriculture, and that will help the country. Aliko told me that, President, thank you. Well, you see, dealing with live things are too difficult, whether animals or plants, that I prefer dealing with chemicals. Though later, from our persuasion, he was able to invest 1 billion into agriculture. But that because the government continued to press and give some incentives. So I believe, yes, the political will by African leaders is there. But we must do better. Countries are doing well. If you go to Ethiopia, for example, the government is so much interested in coffee because it's a cash crop. And most African countries, the governments are interested in the cash crops that will bring money for the country to spend. And don't give that much interest. Yes, there are ministries of agriculture and parastatals that handle every other thing. But you see, it's beyond. If you come to Rwanda, is doing very well. In terms of coffee, Rwanda and Ethiopia, I think they are rivals. Who is the leader? The Agri-Minister will tell us who is the leader. And they are doing very well because it takes a deliberate government push. And I read somewhere as I came in here about the potato seeds by Rwanda trying to develop more and to be known as the major supplier in East Africa, East and Southern Africa. So if government does not push something, it's difficult for you to succeed. And if the banks have agreed to lend 30%, which is huge, if the central bank should be able to encourage them through different options, and that money goes to the farmers, then of course, Rwanda alone probably can feed the rest of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank all of you for gathering here for us to have this conversation on how to move agri forward. Because as Africans, we have no choice. With our population and the unemployment, we can't continue to import food. Yes, we may import some categories of food, but we should be able to produce 90% of our food needs and also export significant part of our food to other countries. I thank you all.
Let's appreciate His Excellency one more time. Thank you very much for those very thought-provoking remarks. Thank you. It is time now to invite our next speaker, who's going to issue his remarks, and that is none other than the Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources of the Republic of Rwanda, Honorable Dr. Mark Chubahiro Bagabe. Let's appreciate him as he comes to address us this morning.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, the Goodwill Ambassador of AATF and former President of the Republic of Nigeria, ministers from Rwanda and the African countries who are present here today. I also want to recognize the High Commissioner of Nigeria to Rwanda, who is with us this morning. I also want to recognize Dr. Agnes Karibata, the former president of AGRA, whom I know that you have all met during her career in AGRA. Development partners, distinguished guests, participants, all protocols observed. Good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this ceremony of Africa Conference on Agricultural Technologies, ACAT 2025. We gather today at a time when African agriculture faces challenges to feed the population that is expected to double by the year 2050. In this context, farmers must meet the growing food demand while navigating the harsh realities of the climate change, soil degradation, pests, and the shrinking resources and is urgent. Right Honorable Prime Minister, Excellencies, dear audience, ACAT 2025 focuses on farmer-centric innovation. This means solutions designed with and for farmers, thus addressing the real-world challenges they face daily. The agri-tech we are talking about ranges from smart irrigation to digital extension tools. The future of African agriculture must be practical, inclusive, and grounded in farmer realities. Allow me to reiterate that innovation must go hand in hand with investments, partnerships, and stewardship to make sure that investments are sustainable. It is only through collaborative action and sustainable approaches that we can scale ag-tech solutions and reach every last mile. Here in Rwanda, we are proud to host this conference as a part of our ongoing commitment to agricultural transformation. We believe that by putting farmers first, embracing technology, and protecting our environment, we can shape a food, secure, resilient, and prosperous Africa. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. It is now my distinct honor to invite our guest of honor, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda, Dr. Edward Ngirente, to address us this morning. Let's appreciate him as he comes.
Your Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, former President of Nigeria, honorable ministers here present, scientists and innovators, development partners, distinguished guests, a very good morning. I am pleased to welcome you all, especially farmers from across the continent, to the second edition of African Conference on Agricultural Technology. This event builds on the success of its inaugural conference held 2 years ago, bringing us closer to a smarter, more sustainable agriculture. First of all, I would like to thank the African Agricultural Technology Foundation, the key organizer of both editions, for partnering with the government of Rwanda to make it possible. As we gather here today to discuss agricultural technology, this conference should not be another conversation. We are here for solutions. Each person in this room, farmers, policymakers, researchers, and innovators, has a role to play in shaping the future of our agriculture. This future depends on ensuring that every farmer has access to reliable and sufficient inputs, precision farming tools, and real-time market data, among others. Distinguished guests, as we are all aware, agriculture remains the backbone of our economies, employing over 60% of the population and contributing approximately 23% to Africa's GDP. However, despite the vast potential of our continent lands and human capital, many African farmers continue to face significant production challenges. These include climate conditions, outdated agricultural practices, limited access to markets, and inadequate financing. To address these barriers and secure the future of agriculture in Africa, we must leverage technology and innovation as essential drivers of its transformation. Today, hard work alone is no longer sufficient. Agriculture must be sustainable and attractive, especially for our young generation. To achieve this, we need to integrate technology and enhance our efforts to transform the sector. Indeed, technology and innovation are essential pillars of modern agriculture and are no longer optional. Distinguished guests, Rwanda considers agriculture as one of the key pillars of sustainable development. The country continues to make strategic investments to strengthen the sector, and we had to de-risk the sector and make farming more attractive and profitable. In this regard, we have implemented several initiatives across the value chain. These initiatives include ensuring the availability of quality agriculture inputs, improving access to affordable financing, promoting crop and livestock insurance, scaling up irrigation infrastructure, and improving agriculture extension services. They also incorporate the expansion of post-harvest management facilities and strategic investment in demand-driven education, among other strategic interventions. In all these efforts, Rwanda has integrated innovations and research to drive better results. And we have noticed that with the right innovations, agriculture can be sustainable and profitable. Distinguished guests, the future of African agriculture will depend on how well we integrate technology with practical solutions. To build a strong technology-driven agriculture sector, Africa must focus on 3 key pillars. First, there is a need to empower young innovators by providing funding, training, and resources to scale their smart farming solutions. Second, Africa must de-risk the agriculture sector to safeguard farmers from uncertainties. Expanding access to crop and livestock insurance, affordable financing, and climate-resilient seeds will ensure greater stability and long-term security in the sector of agriculture. Likewise, improved livestock care and reliable farming tools are essential for making the sector more productive. Third, expanding digital farming tools such as precision farming, automated irrigation, and AI-driven advisory tools and pest detection systems are essential to make agriculture more efficient and profitable. Distinguished guests, as I conclude, let's remember that technology is not just about tools, it is about people. It empowers farmers, regardless of the age, to make informed decisions and improve their livelihood. Most importantly, it strengthens Africa's belief in its ability to feed itself and develop. Let us work together to deliver solutions for our continent. With these remarks, I officially declare the African Conference on Agricultural Technology 2025 open. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, for officially gracing and opening ACAT 2025. We need to appreciate the Right Honourable Prime Minister one more time. A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. So the next item on the agenda right now is what we always call here in Rwanda, ifoto y'urwibutso. It's a group photo that will allow us to remember these moments and the commitments we made right here and the people that were here when we were making these commitments. Allow me to call and have those that are called step on stage. I'll start off with the Honorable Minister of State, Ms. Solange Kaisire, to join us on stage, to be joined by Ambassador Ibrahim Zana, to also be joined by Dr. Canisius Kanagire. Let's also have the Minister of State, Eric Rigamba, joining us right now. Allow me also to call the Honorable Clement Apak, the Deputy Minister in Ghana. I'd like to also humbly request the Honorable Minister Paul Engabire to join us on stage. I would like to call the Honorable Jesse Kabwila, Minister of Higher Education in Malawi. Allow me to also request that we have Professor Agri Ambali, the Board Chair, AATF, to join us. Also to join the photo op is the Honorable Mark Bagawe Chiwahiro. With distinction and honor, I'd like to call both His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan and the Right Honourable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda to join us on this. May I also prepare the board members, Ambassador Professor Muhammadu Ka, to also be on standby to join, Professor Bernard Slippers and Professor Margaret Gill and Dr. Catherine Glatzel, the board members of AATF. Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. A round of applause. It's good. Thank you very, very much. Wonderful. I'd like now to allow all of us to appreciate the Right Honorable Prime Minister and his delegation as he goes to the guided visit of the demo and exhibitions. And that is going to happen now. So let's appreciate the Right Honorable Prime Minister and his delegation and all the dignitaries that have joined us this morning. The rest of us, let us stay in the room, please. I'll give you further instructions of what we will do next. Right. We will now go to the next item on our amazing program. And at this time, we'll be able to have the showcase or the project showcase on Rwanda biotech program that we also heard about in the course of the presentations we had here earlier on. We'll hear about the cassava, potato, maize, and we'll be able to see the partnerships between RAB Rwanda and the partners. And this is going to be delivered jointly. It's a tag team, and it's going to be delivered by Dr. Anastas Nuumuremye and, of course, Mr. Ebed Matagu, who's the project manager at the RAB PCMP. Can we appreciate them as they come to deliver for us this project showcase right now?
Good afternoon, honorable delegates. Bonjour. Thank you. We have a few minutes to just tell the story of the Rwanda agri-biotech program. So we are going to share this because this is the story of partnership that is the theme of the session this today. So my name there, with my brother here, Atanas, we work like this in all the situations. So allow me to move this so that we have the respect for time. I believe as many of us know those three crops, cassava, you know about potato, you know about maize. Many of us are familiar with those three crops. They are grown in East Africa, they are grown in many parts of Africa as well as the rest of the world. So partnership has been mentioned this morning in a big way. We at AATF know we do not succeed until we get it right with partnerships. So we have to re-emphasize the word partnership. We have done it not only with this program, but also with other programs that we are rolling out in Africa. So partnership is a key. So the Rwanda Agri-Biotech program brings together partnerships, rolling out the crop of maize. So that brings together Bayer, who are gurus in technology, CIMIT, who work in maize, as well as AATF, of course, working on maize with tolerance to fall armyworm. The potato team also comes with expertise from Michigan State University, with the Potato Center, who are the global lead in potato, as well as other partners. And the cassava, of course, brings together Danforth Center, who have the technology on improving cassava, as well as our lead RAB, the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Board. So having said that, partnership is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is an enabling environment. And we're just showing you where we have come from in the last decade, where we only had about 6 African countries with an environment which can permit biotech into their countries. But with all the work that we are doing as partners, in 2024, we can proudly say we are just crossing the threshold of 13 countries with an enabling environment. We have an inbox at AATF, which is appearing in the middle there, where we populate with the approvals and we celebrate them. When we get an approval in one country, we celebrate because we consider that as a milestone. So I'm going to let my brother talk about the Rwanda Agri-Biotech program as I step behind.
Yes, thank you very much, Abed. As you said, as you said, the crop we are working on, cassava, potato, maize, are very important for our region. However, we are dealing with challenges which cannot be addressed by conventional methods. So agricultural biotechnology comes in as a solution where we are dealing with disease and climate change issues. In cassava, we are dealing with viral disease, which called cassava brown streak disease, and cassava mosaic. In potato, we are dealing with red blight, and in maize, we are dealing with drought and stem borer and fall armyworm pests. So all of these challenges, without anything done, they can cause 100% loss of the production. So conventionally, it can take many years to get a solution, but with technology, with agriculture, biotech technology, we can solve this problem within short time of period. So the progress, we worked with the regulatory agencies. So this initiative is very young. We started last year in October. So today we are almost 8 months. So it goes up to 2029. So in this journey, we were able to establish infrastructures, the field trials, and the one we call confined field trials. So also we were able to get the approvals from a regulatory agency to conduct the field trials of all crops. So for cassava, we are quite advanced, and potato. Of course, it depends on the nature of the crop. You can see from that map where we have our facilities. And as you are all aware, our farmers need to get information without miscommunication. So we are engaging media, youth, women to deliver a good message to our farmers. And we are also partnering with private sector, especially for value chain development. And also, we are expecting to get approvals for environment release. It means to go to move out from the confined field trials to farmers field. So if we are approved by next season, 2026 A season, which starts in September, we will conduct national performance trials and farmers participatory variety selection to let our farmers appreciate the products. Thank you very much. We are looking forward to deliver these enhanced crops to our farmers. Thank you.
Yeah, let's appreciate that tag team one more time. So now, we are doing very well on time, and I wanted us now to just get a few announcements on some of the things that we need to prepare ourselves for. Remember that we have sessions coming up after lunch that I'd like you to make sure you're in this room by 2 p.m. And in case you'd like to be part of the technical interactive panel that will be taking place at MH3 and 4, please be around for that. AD10, please look out for AD10 if you are a researcher and you'd like to be part of the researchers dialogue that will be taking place at AD10 in that sense. Now, we will be heading for the demo that is going to be taking place at MH1 and 2, and this will be looking at the GAP IQTM, and it's going to be delivered by Virginia Tech, which is a next-gen data intelligence platform for accelerating sustainable productivity growth in that sense. I won't say much about this because I don't want to take the juice out of it. I'd like to invite you to be able to be part of this particular demo session that is going to be taking place at MH1 and MH2. And so I'd like to release us for this, and we all be out there for lunch at around 1 p.m. For those who might not know where the lunch will be served, we have the Auditorium Club, and the ushers will be happy to support you to know where that is. And then we have the Ladder Restaurant, which is in the main hotel, and the award-winning Fellini Restaurant. Yesterday I said that everybody wanted to be at Fellini. All of them are serving good dishes. The farmers did a good job. Again, if you go for lunch later on, please eat everything. So I'll pause there and allow us to be able to go for or have this particular demo session that will be taking place at MH1 and MH2. I don't have much to say unless if there's any other further announcements, which I don't see at the moment. So I'd wish you bon appetit in advance and eat everything and enjoy the demo sessions. We'll see you again in just a bit. Take care of yourselves.